Hello everybody, this is Mark, Tahoe Yak Fisher, here to do another on-water review. Well, it was going to be on water. I'm at Jenkinson Lake here in Sly Park, California. I was planning on doing some on-water footage, but the fact of the matter is that the phone case I tried was too fumbly, and I'm recording this on my phone. So, just finished doing some lure tossing and some top line trolling. So I got a few updates. You know, for one thing, the seat is very comfortable. I have been out there for about 5 hours. I will say it is not overly easy to switch the two positions while you are on the water. Off the water, it's pretty darn easy. That's it, we're in our low position, and just like that, we're in our high position. It paddles much better in the low position, and fishes much better in the high position. So I think with a little bit of practice, I think it'll be a piece of cake. Everybody is asking about the ability to stand up in this boat. So today I gave it a try, and I didn't take a PFD with me, so I didn't try too hard, but yep, I think I could stand up in it, no problem. So as I mentioned, the deck kind of is narrow, so your stance isn't going to be overly wide, so it would take a little balance and a little bit of practice. One other aspect I forgot in my first review was to show that it does have a stow hatch back here, so you can use that to store some gear, dry bag, whatever you want to do. Another thing I figured out today is that I don't think that these rod holders are terribly usable. By the time you get the seat back, so that's the high position, that's the fishing position, and you can see the seat back in a comfortable recline leans over the rod holders to a degree that having a fishing pole there would literally be right behind your head. I found that it was even too close for my fishing net. I was hitting the net with my elbows as I was trying to paddle. So, a couple of extra little pieces of information that I found during the day out there. I was really trying to put a lot of thought into what worked and what did not work. Another thing I would like to point out, one person asked me about height, and when I moved the seat to the forward position, I had to have the foot pegs right here, so you can see it could go 3 further forward, or if you were really tall, you could just take them out and use the boat to put your feet on the end there. But pretty far forward, when that seat is in that forward position, I'm not sure how it would fit someone over, 6'2", 6'3", I don't know. I'm only 5'10", 180 pounds. When the seat is in the high position, which is further back, and I have those pegs like that, I can stretch my legs out straight. They're not bent at all. So I paddled it almost all day in the high position. It wasn't so bad that I had to switch it, and I was just cruising around. This is a calm, flat water lake. It's actually a very beautiful day. Once again, I think my boat is resisting its first catch, because once again I got skunked pitching lures and trolling. Originally I had my rod holder over there on the right hand side, which is nicer for pitching lures. If you land a fish, it's a convenient way to put it, but it didn't get the line out far enough. When I tried to troll, I was catching the line with my paddle, so I switched the rod holder from that side to this side, and it trolled much better. So I will either get a second base or a second rod holder. We'll see. Usually I switch and then I switch. So if it's not too much hassle, I'll just move the rod holder from side to side. Took the front bungee net off and left it at home. Just one less thing to lose, and I wasn't going to put anything up there today, but nice to have that tank well. That would have been perfect for a lunch box or extra tackle box if it needed to be. Paddling on the troll was just fine. It could paddle a speed that was fantastic for trolling. Paddling back towards the marina, I was paddling into the wind, and the tracking isn't as good. The harder the wind is blowing, you know, the more the boat kind of moves from side to side with each paddle stroke. But even into the wind, I was able to paddle well enough to maintain a good bend on the rod for, you know, dragging a little Countdown Rapala. Here's what I was fishing with on the troll. So, second day of paddling, pretty long day. Seat was super comfortable. Not sure it's how it's going to fit real tall people. I think you could stand up in it. And let me know if you guys have any other questions, and I will keep shooting them as long as you are willing to keep watching them. I recently was advised about a product that Yak Gear makes called a rigging bullet, which I complained about the plastic tracks, and they are pretty flimsy, especially with a rod holder on there. I don't know if you can see, you know, but so the first thing I'm going to try is to put the Yak Attack backing plates on there using the rigging bullets, and if that stiffens up the rod holders well enough, or I'm sorry, if that stiffens up the tracks well enough, I'd love to keep them because they look cool. If it doesn't, I will be replacing them with the aluminum ones as well, because, you know, that it trolled fine. I'd be a little worried about catching a big fish. I mean, I'm only catching trout and bass, so nothing so big they're going to damage it. It will work fine in the meantime, but let's face it, we'd all like stuff to be a little stiffer than that. Today was the first day trying my Ascend wheelie cart for this boat. It worked fantastic. I had to narrow it as much as it would go to fit in the boat, but with it set that way, it worked just fine. The holes were the posts. I don't know if you can see this. Are a little small for the scupper holes they go in. So I don't know if you can see, but I took the right size vinyl tubing and heated it up in hot water and slid it over the tubes of the wheelie cart to increase the diameter and make them a snug fit. And now I got plastic on plastic, and it worked really well. So there's a little tip for anybody that has one of these wheelie carts that's a sloppy fit. You know, get some vinyl tubing. They sell it by the foot at your local hardware store. All right, so to wrap up, I love it. It's an excellent boat for small flat water. I think it'd be even fine in mild river stuff. Ask questions, like and subscribe, and I will keep posting them up. All right, Tahoe Yak Fisher out. Tight lines.